Shall be talking about the interdisciplinary nature of AI. Quite an exciting title.
Yes, indeed. We have among us Dr. Hammad Omer. He has a PhD from the Department of Bioengineering, Imperial College London. He is an associate professor at the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, Comsats University, Islamabad. His inventions in the field of MRI have been granted patents by the United States Patents and Trademark Office. Dr. Omer's current research interests include using artificial intelligence to improve the diagnostic quality of medical images. Please welcome Dr. Omer on stage with a huge round of applause.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Can we turn on the presentation? Okay. How to go back? It's unfolding everything. How to go back? Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thanks very much for inviting me here to share my perspectives about AI and how we are using it in our research. Thanks very much for Madam Sabahat and especially Babar Saab. He had been a great communicator while I was building this talk. Thank you very much. So today I'll present the interdisciplinary insights into AI, and you'll get an idea about how we are using biology, physics, chemistry, programming, all those things, and why they are important in developing a very good understanding and true technological perspective of artificial intelligence. I have a background of, I'm basically an electronic engineer, and I also did Masters of Computer Science from Karachi University, postgraduate diploma in information technology, and then I shifted towards biomedical engineering, which is an interdisciplinary area. That's what I did my master's at Imperial College London. And during my PhD, I was a Commonwealth Scholar at Imperial College London, specializing in MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. So let's start with the difference between science, technology, and engineering. Science is the discovery of facts. Technology is built on science. So technology is the practical application of science. And then comes engineering, which is to design, create, and produce new tools, machines, and systems for practical human means by exploiting technology. So all these things go in steps. So we have to start from science, then get onto technology, and then get onto engineering. That's where the concept of STEM comes up in most of the modern education system, that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? So these things are related. So if you come across choosing a degree and the name of the degree says bioscience, or it says biotechnology, or it says bioengineering, these are three different things. So I hope this definition gives you an idea about how the three things will be different, right? So I'll start with a story. Actually, when I was doing my engineering in Karachi, I learned Arabic and Persian from my own interest. And the first job I was offered was in Siemens Dubai, because I knew Arabic and Persian, right? So there in the sales engineering department, I had to sell a lot of lighting products. And the brand with which Siemens manufactures lighting is Osram. They don't sell their lighting products by the name Siemens, but they have a separate brand for it, which is Osram. And I was placed in the beginning of the job as a sales engineer. I was placed in the lighting department. And one day, a Sheikh Saab came with an eagle on his hand that, look, the fluorescent tube of my eagle's cage is not working. So I need the best tube light. And that's a particular thing which happens in UAE. So they have a lot of money, obviously. And when they come to you, they say, give us something that no one else in the whole UAE has got. So, first he came to the salesman, and the salesman came to me. I told him that charge him a good sum of money and give him the best fluorescent tube we have. He purchased the tube, and the fluorescent tube, and got away. And then in 2 days back, he came back, but this time there was no eagle. We said that there is something wrong with it. He said, I'm going to sue your company because my eagle has gone mad since I installed that fluorescent tube in the cage. We were quite worried because in UAE it's quite a lot of penalty if something goes wrong with the camel or with the eagle. So, I went to the manager and said that, look, the guy has come back and he said that my eagle has gone mad since I installed that fluorescent tube. We took the equipment and then we found something which I'll share with you in a minute. So before that, I want to share with you 2 principles. There are different types of light bulbs, right? And that I came to know when I joined that lighting department. One is the incandescent bulb, which is the normal light bulb, old light bulb, where current passes through a high resistance path, and that produces heat and light from it. So that is incandescent bulb. But fluorescent tube works on a different principle. In the fluorescent tube, we have a cathode and an anode. We apply high voltage on the cathode. Electrons get energized. They pass through an ionic path, which has gas filled in it. And then during that path, the electrons get to high energy state. And then when they come back, they give that light. So it's not a continuous process. So it is actually, the fluorescent tube there are continuous bursts of electrons, and it's actually flickering like this. But we feel it's glowing constantly because of persistence of Vn. And I'm sure many of the people here in science, they know about persistence of Vn, that if we look at something, its impression stays in our mind for 1/16 seconds. And that was the principle of the old cartoon movies, that if you pass something which is more than 18 frames per second, so we'll see it's continuously moving because the impression of the previous image is still in our memory, and then it goes on to the next frame. So humans have the persistence of Vn of about, let's say, 1/16 seconds, but that's not the case with the eagles. Eagles have a much higher persistence of Vn. Like their resolution, like what we see, the fluorescent tube is glowing constantly. When we install the same tube, the same fluorescent tube in the cage, that was flickering like this for the eagle, because the persistence of Vn for an eagle is much less than what we have for humans. And there we realized the error. The problem was we were supposed to offer him a high frequency fluorescent tube, which we later on brought from Germany, and then we sent it to the customer, and the eagle was happy. So the problem I want to mention here is you cannot solve the problems of real world if you don't know about the principles of science. So apparently, I was sitting in the lighting department, but if I would not have known about persistence of Vn or about how fluorescent tube works, we would never have been able to find the solution. So this is what we say, that artificial intelligence is a technology. So it's built upon science. So you cannot do technology if you haven't done science, right? And science comes all those subjects which we come across in our matriculation, in our A-levels or IGCSEs. I won't get into the definitions, but you know that artificial intelligence, it leverages the computers and machines to mimic the problem-solving and decision-making capabilities of human mind. So that's what Dr. Agha said earlier. So artificial intelligence is a way of solving the problems And actually, it does it by utilizing the knowledge base it already has. But remember, this is technology. If we have to turn it into engineering, we'll have to keep that definition in mind, that to turn technology into engineering, engineering is to design, create, and produce new tools, machines, and systems for practical human means by exploiting technology. And you cannot do that unless you have very strong foundations of science in yourself, right? So that's something very, very important. So these days, there are a lot of applications of artificial intelligence, and I don't need to name those. Many of those have been discussed already in our panel discussion. It's everywhere, actually. It's in healthcare, automobile, education, space exploration, gaming, and social media. It's everywhere. AI is just mathematics. It's not magic. It's just mathematics. And this is what Galileo said, that mathematics is the language with which God has written the universe. So it means that if you have a strong knowledge of mathematics, then you will be able to truly utilize the potential of artificial intelligence as a technology. So this is just, this slide just gives you an idea about, for example, what is the minimally required set of subjects for building AI algorithms. So you just see the list of the topics. These are all those topics that are deep-rooted into our science subjects, which we offer our students right from the early ages, including statistics, probability, numerical computation, calculus, basic geometry, operations research, linear algebra. So all these subjects join together. If you want to effectively develop new tools of artificial intelligence and you want to truly utilize it, then you will be able to, you'll be able to do that only if you have a wide knowledge about, and in-depth knowledge about these studies. And keeping this in mind, towards the end, I just want to give you an idea about my research group. We have started using artificial intelligence in magnetic resonance imaging for past 4 years by now at ComSets University, Islamabad. So if I just do the list of the main areas we are working on, is we are working on advanced algorithms of MRI, which include parallel MRI, compressed sensing, magnetic resonance fingerprinting, which is the future of magnetic resonance imaging. We are doing chip designing, application-specific integrated circuits of our algorithms, and we are building AI-based controllers as well. Parallel computation using GPUs and high-performance computing tools. But if I tell you in all these things on the back, how the subjects come in connection with each other, we are dealing with human body, which is a subject of biology. We are using MR equipment, which is actually physics. We are playing with the water molecules in our body, which have dipole in it, which is chemistry. We are using computer programming, which is the programming knowledge, and all these things are joined together with the help of mathematics. So if I tell you the things we are doing is, we do have collaborations with many of the international organizations, but if I say in one word what we are, or in a few words, what we are doing is, we are solving matrices. We are solving linear algebra, inverse problems. How do we take matrix? For example, these are the four of my inventions, me and my research group, which have been granted patents by United States Patent and Trademark Office, USA. And the problem we are solving in all these is just taking matrix inverse, nothing else. Right? So so if you don't know about the fundamentals of maths, physics, chemistry, biology, it will be hard for you to get into good grips of artificial intelligence. Can anyone suggest what is this? This slide, what does it show? This is actually, when X-rays were invented in early 1900s, there was a lot of fashion of X-rays. And the shoe shops in London, they used to use X-ray machines to check whether the shoe properly fits or not. So these are the kids. they are using X-ray machines. I mean, the top-notch shoe shops in London, they were using X-rays to check if the shoe is properly fitting or not. So customers expect it. So if we have to harness AI power, so when something is new, everyone talks about it. At that time, if you just Google it, you'll find out X-ray toothpaste, X-ray shoe polish. Just Google it, you'll find it, right? So because X-ray was fashion, and the same is the case with AI today, right? So we have to use AI, obviously with a wisdom, and to truly benefit the human mind. And the last thing, and my last message today is about is this the last slide? Okay, yeah, so that's actually the principle which I want to mention today. And that is Ayat 27 of Surah Ar-Ra'd. And this is what I have, I have 9 people have completed their PhDs under my supervision so far. And I have a research group of more than 35 researchers currently at master's, undergrads, and PhD levels. This is actually the slogan I've told them, that what benefits mankind will prevail. If AI will benefit mankind, then it will prevail. And for that, the evidence is this example, which is the Ayat 27 of Surah Ra'd, which says, أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَسَالَتْ أَوْدِيَةٌ بِقَدَرِهَا فَاحْتَمَلَ السَّيْلُ زَبَدَ الرَّابِيَةَ وَمِمَّا يُوقِدُونَ عَلَيْهِ فِي النَّارِ ابْتِغَاءَ هِلْيَةٍ أَوْ مَتَاعٍ زَبَدٌ مِثْلُهُ كَذَلِكَ يَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْحَقَّ وَالْبَاطِلَ فَأَمَّا الزَّبَدُ فَيَذْهَبُ جُفَاءً وَأَمَّا مَا يَنْفَعُ النَّاسَ فَيَمْكُثُ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَذَلِكَ يَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْأَمْثَالَ. So the translation is, Allah sends down water from the heavens, and the riverbeds flow, each according to its measure, and the torrent carries with it a swelling scum, which actually covers the whole of water. In a like manner, from the metal which they smelt to purify it in the fire to make ornaments and utensils, rises scum like this. But it has no value in it. Although it has covered everything, but it has no value in it. Thus does Allah depict truth and falsehood. And for the scum, now this is the main thing, and for the scum, it passes away as dross. But that which benefits mankind abides on the earth. Thus does Allah explain the truth through examples. So we should try to bring AI in such the new inventions based upon AI, so that they bring benefit to the humanity, because this is the rule which has been set forward not by any human being, but Almighty Allah, who is the creator of the universe, that whatever will benefit humanity will prevail. Whatever will not benefit humanity, although it will look it's great, but it will not prevail. So with this, I invite you all to learn the basic sciences and to truly understand the mathematics, the physics, chemistry, biology, all those subjects together, so that we can truly benefit from the innovations lying in the AI technology, and we can turn this AI technology into engineering. Thank you very much.
So we can take one question.
Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Anika Bas from Burson Campus, Peshawar. So thank you so much for such informative session, and it's an honor for us that you are in our panel. So my question is that, reflecting on your role as a parent, what strategies or resources do you think would be helpful in navigating and making the most of artificial intelligence integration in child's learning journey? So can you please highlight, sir, the resources and strategies?
Can you say again, please?
Yeah, sir. So reflecting on your role as a parent, what strategies or resources do you think would be helpful in navigating and making the most of AI integration in child's learning process? Thank you.
I've worked with a couple of consultants firms in London for quite a few years. What I realize is if students know the fundamentals, if they know the basics, then it's easy for them to build upon and to get a deeper understanding of technology for them. But if they are weaker in the fundamental subjects, I can give you an example. I mean, I had been teaching to at American school in London when I was doing PhD, and there were quite a few Chinese students as well, right? And now in China they don't prefer to use calculators actually. Right, so even if you, but in USA, in UK, in IB system, in international baccalaureates, graphics calculator is part of the curriculum, right? So when I used to say to any Chinese student that, you know, do this multiplication or do this thing or do this integration, I mean, they were very quick. But the people who did not know how to do those things manually, right, because they lacked some of the basic set of skills, so they were not able. So it's, I mean, like, if you know the basics, it's easy to build technology on it. But if you lag in the basics, then you cannot take true benefits of technology. I think for our young learners, what we should focus, we should tell them the applied approach towards this subject, so that brings interest amongst the students, right? And I think that's one of the motivation why IB system is flourishing in the world. I mean, like in Australian education system, they have focused a lot upon the applied learning. For example, if you are teaching a student, you know, this is a rectangle, calculate its area, rather than that, just say we have a football ground which has this length and this width, and tell us, you know, the area. So that's the same problem, but put in a different way. So I think to build the true sense of the sciences is very important, but that will keep the interest of the students if we tell them in a more applied manner. And I think that's what should be our role as a learner, as the teachers. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Sorry, I hope everyone can hear me now, so I don't have to shout. The STEM, you said the patron, the science, technology, engineering, maths. Do you kind of agree with that one? Because the impression which I got, it has to be in that patron. But I think it varies around, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. But I mean, ultimately, first is the science, then technology is built on it, and then engineering is the top-notch level. For example, you know, technology might be there, but that might not be very beneficial to the humanity, right? For example, when the first man landed on the moon, at that time, the people were predicting that in 15 years' time, we'll spend our weekends on the moon. So technology was there. But that never happened. Why? Because, I mean, what's the point? So that's what Sheikh Zadi said, that tukare zamira niko sakhti ke ba asma nis pardakhti. That what benefit you bring on the earth that you're going towards the sky now, right? There are a lot of problems on the earth. So I think everything goes in a sequential manner. But I mean, we can say technology, you can take a top-down approach as well. But for a university professor, it's the same. And one last thing, I think, which was missed in the introduction, on this 14th of August, I was awarded Tamgha Imtiaz by President of Pakistan in engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for setting new avenues for all of us.